Ooh, it's been a while since I messed with this thing. It's slowly becoming a storage unit, but we're actually doing something on the car besides the oil change. Just gotta do the oil change, but we have an issue with this piece right here, and I say that and now I don't know where I put it again. The rear hatch on the car does not work anymore. The solenoid went out. So I bought this Amazon solenoid, which is a pull. So hopefully I can get it to work with this and use the OEM setup. So we got that going on here. And here's the old solenoid. It's just, I mean, like, I'm pushing down, it's just not going. It's shot, it's old. To get my hatch to work again. So we got this, and I went ahead and got a new toggle switch too. This is momentary, so you flip it up and it'll flip back down. Go and replace that one in the back. But let me get the oil in this real quick, and then we'll pull the car in, and I'll show you what we're trying to figure out here. So should be a pretty good day. Okay, so what we got going on right now, let me close the battery thing here, is that solenoid goes in this little spot right here. And there's a lever up in there, you can kind of see it, that pulls and it opens up my latch. And the power thing just lays on this piece. So what I got to do here is really not that hard. Let me put you over here real quick. Not as hard as it's gonna, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be hard. I can't really tell you that. There's no telling. Anytime I say something's gonna be easy, it's gonna be hard. Just like leaving the car in neutral, and now I'm pushing the car. All right. One. And two. Okay. So here is my little solenoid that gets pulled. So that other piece basically sat in like this, and when it would activate, it would pull the mechanism and hence unlocking the hatch. Well, they don't make the solenoid anymore, and that's a little unhelpful for me. So what I'm thinking about doing here is getting it kind of matched up where this one was to the best of my ability, which it looks like I'm going to have to extend this out. So I'll probably get another nut and jam nut this good, but we'll extend it out and basically try and get it to fit in there to pull said mechanism, because I don't think I need it that far out, but we'll see. So let me rip this off, do some measurements, and then come from there and see what we can do. Okay, so here's what I came up with. So this shaft is not long enough, obviously, and to get it to where it needed to be like on top of the bowl, so the mechanism wouldn't touch. Well, I riveted it in, I drilled the 2 holes out and riveted the piece to this, and then I'm going to run the positive to the positive tab for the little switch in there, and then the other piece just goes to the frame for ground. Well, I have an old, like, what do they call it, a pegboard holder here to put on here. So I have it on here where I can pivot it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it in there and get some measurement done. And then from that measurement, I will bend this pivot hook into one of these little bad boys. So there's going to be some, not wiggle this way, but like pivoting this way. So if I mounted this too crooked, it has a way of still pulling and not binding up. So this actually works out better than I thought it was going to work. So I'm going to do that. And also I need to put another nut on the back of this thingy, because I almost lost the whole setup because I dropped the nut, and that wasn't very good. So let me find a nut that fits this. Should have one in here, so I can tie it down. I'll probably put a dab of sealant or Loctite on it as well, because you know it's going to keep opening and vibrating back there. It's going to eventually pop off, and we don't want that. That's a no-no. So, oh, perfect. Okay, so not perfect actually, but honestly it'll do. Yeah, I would rather just snug that one on there with some silicone just to keep it from ever backing out. But so here's our little thing. Let me get this all wired up real quick, and we'll mount it in there. Or actually, I guess we won't even mount it yet. Let me get in here and I'll show you the measurements and what I'm going to do to figure that out. Okay, so it's a few days later. I riveted this onto that bracket while I messed up and drilled into the actual coil that makes the magnet work, so I ruined it. So I had to buy a new one, and this one is actually a little bit easier. I had to drill a hole right here for the piece to go through to grab the other side. And I used, luckily the threads are the same threads as some of the PC parts I have from my computer stuff. So I just drilled the 2 holes to put it in, and that's it. So now this little terminal up here is the power. This is what sits on that little copper lever on the hatch. So you click it and it sends a little jolt to, you know, obviously move this back. So I need to wire one of these to that. I don't know if it goes either way, I'll have to check. So I'll wire it to here, cut the excess off, and I'll wire this other side, and I'll probably just drill a hole and rivet it to it, the frame, so it's grounded, and then we'll test it here in a minute. So what I did, which I didn't record it because I was trying to figure it out, is I took this piece here and literally fit it through the other piece and then bent it out. And while it was in the car, I was going to bend it and make like a snake almost. So there's the middle piece from here to the actual lever. I'll show you guys that here in a minute once I get it in the car. I don't think it'll be that hard. This is $17 and it does its job. I mean, we got a battery. Just dropped it. Here we go. 12-volt battery. And we will put this to negative, this to positive, and oh, I dropped it, but that's it. It just reels in. So don't know if I have it the right direction or not. Pretty self-explanatory, really. Just a little mechanism. I feel like that spring isn't strong enough, though. I could be wrong, but luckily I have this spring I'm probably going to put on it, too. Just because I broke that one. So, yeah, let me get this all put together real quick, and then we'll test it in the car. Okay, so I had to do some clearancing. I'll end up cleaning it up to get this back part in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rivet some metal aluminum to this piece and make a another like a riv nut, kind of like these down here. I'll riv nut it here so it'll be bolted in, and I have it where the ground wire for the solenoid will go right here with the bolt hole to put it to the frame. And you can kind of see, oh well, maybe not, the little bow tie I got made out of that pegboard thing. We're going to try it and see if I need to bend it closer, but that should be aligned to where it will grab this piece right here and pull it. And it doesn't take a lot of a pull, so I don't want it resting on it for sure. I'm going to put some heat wrap on this too so they don't rattle in the car. It's kind of denting it down. It may not rattle in general, I don't know. This whole car is gutted right now, but for future I'm putting interior, and let's at least go ahead and knock that out while we're there. But let me get this test mounted in real quick, and then I've got some aluminum and stuff. We'll make another piece and basically cut this part down so I don't have to take off my weep holes for my spoiler. And we'll riv nut it to this piece and put another bolt right here. So yeah, pretty exciting actually. Far easier than I thought it was going to be, but kind of looks janky. It's a $17 pool solenoid compared to, I can't find another solenoid that's OEM, so they're quite expensive. And I went ahead and got a new button too. So it's a lever. So I think this one might have gotten stuck or something and just kept the solenoid hot. And I think that's what happened to that. It may have been that reason. So we get I have a lever switch, so it just pops up and then it automatically slaps down. So I'll know that it's not messed up. And then we'll amp it too, because I got to read what kind of amperage this solenoid is. I think it's like a 3 amp. We'll put a, instead of having the fuse way over here like I had it before, we'll put it on the harness, probably on the part that mates to said piece. I'll put one of my fuse box wires in there. So it's fused again. And it's 3, so maybe it won't melt this solenoid and I'll have to rebuild it again. So let me get this piece put back in here real quick because I need 2 hands. And I don't really have a good angle for you guys. But let me put this on and then get the hood latch in, and then we'll test it and hope and see if it works. Crossing our fingers it works. All right, got everything back together. I left this one bolt out and moved the bolt here just because I'm scared the bolt might be too long and it'll touch the solenoid. So I'm going to put a riv nut here, put a shallow bolt, just like I'm going to riv nut over here. But I got the ground relay done, the positive. So we got our ground, our positive. I just have it jumbo to the battery for now, instead of to the switch. So we're going to test it real quick. So we'll shut the thing, shut like it's supposed to. And then, okay, I heard it click. So just like the other one, let me get my other arm in. I usually have to lift up on it too. Oh, I had to grab it real quick. Sorry for the loud noise. See what I mean by how fast it jumps up? That's why I had this string here. And I had a loop way back when before I changed my filler neck for just, you know, God forbid it popped up during driving for some reason. I would be able to keep it from hurting it. That's why I put the switch back here so I could have my other hand on here, flip the switch and bring it up. And as you can see, it went back to the off position and it's up. So let's try it one more time, but this time I'll show you what I mean. Let me hook it right here. Okay, I don't know if y'all heard me or not, but we're gonna hook it there. Okay, so it's right there for safe reasoning. You're like, oh, I'll push the button real quick and lift up a little bit with my middle finger. There we go, so I caught it. I want to kind of, I don't know how I would do it. Maybe like a hood pin somewhere with the push button style. I don't know, I'll figure something out. Or I'll just keep it like this for the rest of its life. More than likely that's what's going to happen. But yeah, so I just fixed this AMC crud sensor with a $17 sensor, some wire, and a pegboard holder. So pretty happy, I'm not gonna lie. A lot harder than I thought it was gonna be just because of the whole wiring issue and it was touching and all that other stuff. But we're gonna test it with y'all in the car. I'll show you how I would normally open it. That's awesome. All done. I have my rear hatch again. No more climbing into the car to get in here. So that's it. I mean, besides me having to put a riv nut in here to put the other bolt in, which I'll get to soon. No. Say hi.
Hi.
It's day 2. I said I was done yesterday. Put it all together, and that solenoid just didn't seem tight or strong enough. So I went ahead and bought another 60 Newton one, which I'll put in the Instagram or the Amazon, or the description of it on Amazon. And I also bought a keyring set. So I bought this $8 keyring set, which I'll put in the description too. So I'm using the rings to set my linkage up here. So there's some flex to it. So we're putting it all back together right now. Then we're gonna test it again. And we'll see if it pulls a little easier than it did before. So I'm gonna have my little helper help me color the garage floor that we're no longer gonna have soon. And then we'll be good to go. So give me 5 minutes. And for y'all, it's like a second. Okay, so got it all hooked up. I have like double the grounding right now because I know this right here is the ground part. Tested it a couple times, got the alignment back where I needed it. That's my license plate. And got it all done, figured out how I wanted it. I gotta probably going to just get one of those zip tie plugs for the ground. It's fine right now, it just floats right here. I'd honestly like to get another one of these, kind of like that, for the ground, and then just get another prong and just have both of them right here, but yeah, it'll be all right. So I'm gonna test it real quick with you guys. Quick tip, if you do this on your Spirit, which it's kind of a hillbilly way of getting your hatch to fix, but it's better than hunting for a $300 solenoid. What I used was I had this little motor. Basically, this one right here was too weak after testing it. And I noticed if it's at max throw and you have it, say you have the hood pin right there perfectly, it won't engage. It doesn't want to engage. Chloe hit her noggin. Oh, it's just a cardboard box, baby. You're okay. It's okay. Say hi. Hi. See, look, you're all better. Magic. You're all better? So we got it done. What you want to do is you want to have, if you're using the keychain methods, okay? I don't know where your ball's at, baby. We'll find it in a minute. When you get the keychains, don't make it as tight as possible. Leave a little slack. I left like 1/8 of an inch of slack. That way the motor could go 1/8 of an inch, or like however, just enough to get the magnet to do its job. So now, on my car, I've always had to push down and then lift up. I don't know if that's how y'all's car is too. I'm assuming it is, but y'all are in there. You want to pull the lever for me? Lift it up. Good job. Just like that, you and Chloe can open up the hatch. And yeah, I fixed it. It took like 4 or 5 renditions, but now we're actually done with it. It was honestly really simple. Okay, give me 1 minute, baby. It was pretty simple. Now, I'm not even gonna clean up. I'm gonna take this inside. Chloe wants to go hang out, so we're gonna hang out on a Saturday and go have some fun. Are we gonna have some fun? She said no, so I guess we're not gonna go have fun. So we're not gonna go have fun in there. But Mama's in the house. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any questions on how I did it, let me know, and I'll try to get as much help as I can. But I'm pretty impressed. Now I just need to run my wire back to my fuse block, which I'll do that all later on. But yeah, we got her going good. So that's it for now. I'll catch y'all later, and y'all have a good weekend.